Okay, everybody, this is your old buddy Wade Squatch Man. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is part 2 of December 11th. I'm walking back, and I look down. There's a hole in the ground. Looks like a tree got pulled straight out of the ground, lifted out of the ground. So we're headed over here where there's a lot of stick structures and stuff. And lo and behold, I see something cool already. This is part 2. Already made part 1. Found some cool stuff back in here. There's an old milk jug upside down. Look at this. Look back in here. Look back in here. Look at that. That's a perfect X back in here. So that means all the noises I've been hearing, they're walking around here back here at night doing what they do. There's the sun up there, but look at that. I've got the whole thing on the screen at the same time. Look at that. So we're going to walk back over here, check things out. Yeah, I thought it was time to go back here and make a couple updates. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Plastic bucket laying right there. Look at this. How that was pushed up in there. Been there, and some of the other stuff's been stuffed. Then I see some more cool trees. Squash activities back in here. Oh yeah. Look at that. Look at all that. Got arches. Got stuff all maneuvered up in there. Absolutely amazing. Look at this. Ain't it cool? That is really something. Especially when you walk up to this stuff and you see it in person. So what I'm going to have to do, I can't bend down like I used to. So I have to walk around it. I got to be careful. I don't want to get tripped up. Nice empty space to walk down in here. And then we gotta walk back up. Okay. This is really getting questionable. This used to be an old nest back in here. This is where I first saw Kushika when she was a baby. Now look at it. It's all gone. The nest has been removed. Look at this. Absolutely amazing. What changes things in woods when it comes to the trees? That used to come all the way down here. Then you got something laid across right there. Whoa. Goes up, goes down, clear as can be. Man, they stay busy back in here. But that nest used to have all kinds of things looking at it. You could see it's all gone. Most of it's gone. Then you got woven stuff above it. Arches, stuff's been laid in here. Man, you can tell by the leaves it's something with big flat feet that's been walking around. I can remember when I first came back here when this nest was first made. I had forgotten some food I was going to bring out here. So I left and I came back and I could smell pine. And there was 2 pine trees freshly made. They're laying right there. And pine trees were turned into the nest. But it's changed. It happened, that was about maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. So, just showed you that big old squash tree right there. Goes up, goes down. Look at that. They reached up and grabbed it and broke it, bent it. Then you got all this in here. So much stuff going on. So much tree activity. Maneuvering things. We gotta work our way over there. Look at that. Yeah, we're gonna work our way back towards my house. I gotta go around this because I cannot bend like I used to. Slowing down a little bit. Yeah, I used to be able to walk through here, but they made it so you can't even walk through here. One of these days we're gonna take a walk and go straight back in there. Just keep walking, but let's see. You got 2 different trees here, been pushed up, locked in on the fork up there. This has been pushed up, broken right there, leaning on that little branch right there. Now that is amazing. Definitely some kind of little animal back here, and there's the turds. Yeah, they made it so I can't walk through here smooth anymore. They don't want to make it easy. They want to make it difficult. But the leaves look like something, like I said earlier, all back in through here. I usually can go around, but they made it so you can't walk through here. And this is an old ravine. It's got stuff woven and tied into each other back in here. We're gonna go back in there one of these days. A ground stick. There's a ground stick right here. It's stuck in the ground too, boy. A ground stick. They've been walking around doing things with sticks. There's a ground stick. And all this goes through there, so I had to walk around. Okay. All right. You can see the stuff's been laid all up in there. There's a squash tree right there. Okay, we're headed down back to behind my garage. That's something cool to show you. I always talk about certain things, and I like finding certain things. More animal stuff, more animal poop. So, okay, this is the old trail right here. It used to be easy to walk back in here, but not anymore. So, I'm walking over here to show you because it's not as green as it used to be. Everything has died out, so definitely winter. But there you go. That's what I wanted to show. That pyramid right there. There's the top of it. There's the middle. There's the bottom. It's been there for a while. You can find a lot of pyramids in places. That used to be an old X right there. This was a trail. Actually, yeah, it was a ravine, but they changed it around. I'm walking over to the stick structure nest nursery type of thing. Here's where it all started, from that tree right there. On a Mother's Day a couple years ago. We were eating crabs on the deck, my family and I heard it. No wind was blowing. They didn't know what to think. But as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there's a lot of tree stuff going on back in here. And there's another push down right there. I've heard that one. That's been laid up in there. Now we're on the other side. It's starting to thin out. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and head into part 3. I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Keep on squatching, keep on rocking in the free world. I'll talk to y'all on the next one. We are out.